this is part 3 of the recap for the road trip to Tennessee, Thanksgiving. Coming home, we went over quite a bit in the first 2 videos. You're not obligated to watch them though. I believe fully and wholeheartedly that what is meant to find you will find you. And we ended the last video on there's an expansion of gifts coming in your spirit, in your mind, in your life. And part of the generational curse here is that your family may not have embraced these gifts. We've got it coming on both sides of our family. And whether you know that or not, that might be true. My grandmother on my dad's side was very intuitive. And while she fully leaned into the Christian paradigm, she knew exactly what her gifts were and how to use them. And she was very quiet about it. She didn't give too much away. But I think she knew. And I can see the signs in my nieces and nephews that are already, expressing an aptitude. My mother, on my mom's side, she's very intuitive. She says my grandma was as well, but I don't really know her. So there's something here about embracing your gifts, knowing, oh yes, I heard a story about my mother's family because she was just in South Carolina helping my grandmother clean out her house. She was talking to my sister and I about how on my mom's side, there's a lot of seamstresses. It's in the blood. That's what they did. My grandmother's sisters, and there was a wedding dress designer, and there was a doll maker who made wedding dresses for the dolls that were just as detailed and intricate, and seamstresses, a lot of them, a lot of fabric workers. And I never really clicked with why that was until I realized my oldest sister, had, I think, 4 looms last year. She's gotten super crazy into weaving and crochet and sewing, and she does it all. And she's really good. And she sells her products and she enjoys it, and it's just a side hustle for her. But it's her passion. It's what she does for fun. That's how she transmutes. When she's feeling a lot of emotions or a really heavy stuff, she'll pick colors from a painting, a picture that she loves. She will match the colors of the picture to the threads that she's weaving, and she will turn that colors from the picture into some kind of fabric, some kind of art. It's amazing. So the fact that is a generational skill that has been passed down unknowingly is case in point proof to me that whether you know your family has these gifts in them or not, whether you know there's intuitive, psychic, witches, whatever word you use, whether you know it or not, they exist. They're there, and they are expressing through your bloodline. In the first video, we did tarot cards. In the second video, we did oracle cards. I think this one, I'm going to wind up doing a little bit of both. But we are going to passion. We are going to switch to the next thing I got. The first one was the lock, which we went over in the second video. The next one is, ooh, there's a flower there. Okay, I'm going to go over the 2 things I got. This is the card case I got for my oracle cards. It doesn't really match the first one I got for my tarot deck, but it's a nice wooden box. It's the perfect size. I need to, again, address the lining and clean up the inside and make it nice. But just look how cleanly they fit. It's fucking perfect, man. And I was just walking in my mom's antique shop. She doesn't own it, but she works there, and she gets to sell her pieces. She gets to refurbish and then sell what she makes, which is really cool. It's an artistic expression and a job for her. She really likes it. But I was just walking, and I had to do a double take, I saw it and I had to get it. But there's a flower here, and I didn't notice at first, but this connects. There was another, I'm hiding it in here, which the coffin came from the Halloween party. It had all, a bunch of candy and shit like that in it. But I'm hiding it in here. I got this, and it's stained glass, which I thought was really cool, but I don't know why I wanted it. It was one of those things that I was just walking by, and I was like, are we getting that? Like, why? You know? But that's what Spirit wants. One sec. So at first it reminded me of the necklace that Rosita had in The Walking Dead. She made it for, oh my God, what was his name? Abraham. She made it for Abraham. But then I noticed it folds out. It folds out, like the metal is, it's soft enough to mold, but it doesn't really break. And it folds out into this flower. And at first I was like, what am I going to do with that? I thought about putting it on my keys, and I wasn't really sure why Spirit wanted me to do it. But the flower is significant here. And my sister, she gets a travel ornament every time she goes somewhere new, right? So I was thinking about putting it on the tree, even though it's like, it costs almost nothing. It's not super nice. It did come from our mom's shop. And she didn't end up getting an ornament this time. So I'm gonna tuck it away, and I'm just gonna hang on to it until Christmas. When we put the tree up, I'm just gonna put it on there. If she asks about it, I'll tell her. It's not really nice enough for me to consider it a Christmas present, you know what I mean? But if I can sneak a decoration onto the tree that has some kind of meaning and might leave a mark for the future to come, because I don't know how long I'll be here. A lot of the things that I came to do are already done. I changed my name. I started my business. I generated my prototypes, which still need some work, but they're getting there. I got a car. Still need to pay that off. But aside from that, once we pay that off, and once I get my personal training and nutrition certification, finish my body goals here, it'll be time to move on. I'll have enough time to save a little nest egg, and then it'll be time to go. So I find myself thinking about things like that. Just leaving something behind. Because the truth is, there's nothing I wouldn't give up if Spirit wanted me to. And I've always known that this time with my family is to be treasured. This time with my family can't be guaranteed in the future. There is no guarantees. And these soul ties, I don't want to leave any regrets. When it's time to travel, it's time to travel. When it's time to shift, it's time to shift. And you never know who's going to be in your life when you do that. Ripple, portal, and choices, chances, opportunities. My mother is a case in point example of that, because I found out last night that she unfollowed me months ago. And she was trying to be delicate. She was like, I really just don't want you to be offended, okay? I don't want you to be offended. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be offended. Like, just say it, you know? Like, honestly, that was already after some things had been said that made me feel some kind of way. So I was fine. And she told me that she had to resave my number. My sister had just sent it to her, and she had to resave my number. And she texted me so I would have her number. We exchanged numbers because we didn't have them. And she realized that she didn't have me saved because she had texted me once in the last, 6-8 months, maybe longer, one time. And she had told me that she had just unfollowed my Instagram because she saw one post that she really, really loved. It was one of my readings. And then the next one she saw was, she didn't even tell me what she saw. I'm sure it was something crazy. I'm sure it was like a cosplay or like one of my shower videos or, you know, one of the more risque ones. But she was like, I just don't want to see that. And I'm like, okay, I don't blame you. I'm not offended. But like, she sent me a whole ass text message in Spirit. I'd already changed my phone number by that point. I was guided to change my phone number. And right around when I changed my phone number, that's when she sent that message that would have triggered me. Spirit protected me from that situation because I didn't need to go through that. And if she is separated from me, That's her choices.